Oh, there's another light thing. Hey, there's that word again. In the distance.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
Why are you referring to everyone as a hermit? You were so pretentious. It's one thing I enjoy slash don't like in that writing style. It allows you to make yourself so separate from humanity, like as if you're your own entity and you don't really connect with anyone. And I feel at that point you haven't really given a life a chance, and maybe you should just phone's ringing. Oh no. You probably can't hear that. That's not my phone ringing. That's the house phone. Yeah, the house phone. Yeah, people still have
After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
It's a very estranged writing style, which is like an isolated type of feeling, and which I personally enjoy a lot because I like that type of writing style. I feel like I can connect with it in some aspects, but I also find the problems in it. It's just like, yeah, humanity. What is this strange greater circle that I'm a part of? I don't know. Oh, there's a house on the hill. And there's a radio tower. It's probably not a radio. It's a tower that's blinking. That's for sure.
I've begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
So, yeah, that's starting to get really interesting. I'm enjoying this definitely greatly. It's just, I know it sounds like I'm being very critical on the way I'm speaking, but I'm just trying to analyze the information.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
There's that symbol again. What I was saying earlier, I'm just trying to analyze the information I'm receiving, and there's a step of criticizing in that process. It's not necessarily like, I don't like the game.
Inventory.
You gotta put your opinion into
it. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
But there's two sides of the coin on an opinion. There's the positive and the negative. So obviously when you're trying to give your opinion on something, it's going to have a little bit of both, right? You don't want to be so one-sided on things. Or there's that word again. So one-sided on everything, because at that point you're not being open-minded, and I feel like that's very vital. I'm not trying to indulge my philosophy upon you, but I'm just trying to let you understand and relate to how I'm speaking as I'm playing this game. But right as I was saying, there's a very isolated feeling of the writing, and kind of shifted a little. It started being a little more uplifting than that, and that's cool. It's definitely more variety. So we're going away from the tower, which I don't want to do, but the game wants me to. Okay, it's not giving me the option to just fall off that cliff, because I totally would. So it doesn't appear you can. As I was saying, it doesn't appear you could kill yourself in this game. but I don't want to. It might actually force me to, but just because I don't want to interrupt the flow of it, because there's a nice solid flow, and falling off a cliff kind of ruins that, I guess. Sometimes when things are flowing together, you shouldn't just fall off a cliff because you'll interrupt everything and be a pompous asshole.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.
Nature's beautiful. I wish I could. I live in the middle of Indiana, so there's a lake, Lake Monroe, I could go to, I guess.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose. He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
As I was saying, there's not really much like true beautiful nature I can enjoy. There's a bunch of hills in Brown County. I'm giving you the geography of my location. You probably don't. These names probably don't mean anything to you, but it's a very hilly place and it's very beautiful in the fall. But besides that, there's not really. That's where Lake Monroe is too, sort of, kind of. But yeah, there's not really much for me to enjoy. The city I live in is
Climbing down to the
pretty beautiful,
caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
This is definitely a very different game. I thought there'd actually be like some different gameplay into it, but so far it's just like, yeah, let's take a walk. This is a game that's like, instead of like I was saying, instead of, hey, I'm going to go out and enjoy nature, I could just do it through a video game, have a story. It's like, yeah, right before I go to bed, I'm going to play this game. This is kind of cool. It's like something I would have one of my kids endure. Speaking of children, I'm nowhere near in my life for children, but yeah.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is, has gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us and whatever correspondence could be drawn from the wet rocks.
As you can tell, I was thinking about like timing each video and making and making clear connections, but it's just one long recording session, so I don't know what part we'd be in at this point. Probably part 2, maybe part 3. But the videos are going to say, hey, stay tuned or something along those lines, and then it'll fade out to the little outro thing I'm going to, hey, there's that word again, the outro screen I'm going to build. Yeah, that word again. Sorry, it's just something I want to say to keep catching myself. The events have certainly changed. I need to get rid of too. Not much to say. I'm kind of trying to soak all of this in.
It was as if someone had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail. The glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays and the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
What is he talking about with a car? Is there a car that I'm not seeing yet? This is certainly... Oh man, I wish I go to a place like this just every night, just explore it and live there. Oh, hey. It'd be amazing. Just a very simple life, stalagmites and yeah, other word. I don't know the difference between the two, so don't even test me. I just know they exist and that they're in my vocabulary somewhere deep within my frame of mind. It is very beautiful, though. And we're just gonna enjoy the music a little. Sorry, it's something I've overlooked. It's the music earlier was getting weird though, and I enjoy weird music immensely, actually. Like glitchy music when it comes to video games. I think Far Cry 3 might have a bit of that. I don't know. Did I just get a frame drop? Is that possible on this new computer I have? I got a few there. Ooh. That's weird. What am I doing at this point? It appears I am at an impasse here, so maybe we should compromise and turn around. Because I was getting reduced frames in that room for some reason. I'm getting reduced frames again. It's weird. I don't know how much my second hard drive would be affected by having more than half of it filled. I don't know if that slowed the recordings too much. This game's installed on my main hard drive, though, my solid state. Because I wanted to do a Let's Play of it, so I wanted to... Or... What am I trying to say? I wanted to play as smoothly as possible. My graphics card isn't the best. It's a bit outdated. By a bit outdated, I mean like 5 years outdated. But everything else, my computer's brand new. I haven't talked about my computer yet. I just got a brand new computer. I'd give you the specifics, and eventually I'll have a place where you can look at the specifics, because I had someone build it for me. I don't know too much about computers. I know enough to know what parts are good and bad, but not like the very specific brand names and all that. Oh, I don't know how I found this place, but doing it. Oh man, that's so fun. I'm reliving my childhood memories of stumbling into the cave and jumping down into water. Never happened to myself. Hey, we can swim all of a sudden. That's bullshit. I call bullshit. Like, oh yeah, I remembered how to swim in this mysterious cave after I broke my fucking arm. Excuse my language there. That is kind of hysterical in its own fashion. It's so beautiful, though. Oh my god. I'm having a great time with this game. It's not disappointing. It's a very simple game. Not like simple as in some of the Let's Tries I've been doing. No, just like simple as if complex. Simple in the first layer, but you try and delve a little deeper into those layers, you find so much complexity, it's ridiculous. Because there's a story going on here, and there's all this beautiful music and volumage and just everything that's occurring right now. It's just amazing. Is that where it just was? Yeah, okay. I was hoping that there would be a bit more action in this game, but I'm fine with this. And how it's playing out right now. It's nowhere near disappointing. In fact, it's definitely one of the best games I've played in a while, considering I haven't played too many new games. I was just playing a lot of repetitive games like FTL, for sakes. Oh, FTL. Counter-Strike. I'll record some Counter-Strike. But it'll be in the fashion of what I was talking about, the video that will be released every 2 weeks. That type of video. So you won't see, like, too much Counter-Strike. It'll be interesting. You'll enjoy it. Or I'll have to find you and suffocate you. Because suffocation, I don't want to burn you because I'm already on a watch list for that.
In my final dream, I sat at peace with Jakobsen and watched the moon over the Sandford Junction. Goats grazed on the hard shoulder. The world gone to weed and redemption. He showed me his fever scars, and I mine. Between each shoulder, the nascency of flight.
I don't condone the usage of drugs, but I'm just saying if you ever want to play a video game on an acid trip, I personally wouldn't know, but I would have, because I've never played this game before. But I would just say this game might be kind of cool. I don't know. It seems weird and beautiful. I don't know what acid would be like. Man. Oh, what is going on? Are these gyms? Are these spider eggs? Oh, I don't even want to go in here. I'm just going to turn around. You know what? Good. It was a good run. We're done. I'm sorry, I can't fit. Okay. There have been no enemies so far, so I'm just going to... I don't want to crawl up there, though. These do look like gems, though. There have been no enemies so far, so I'm just going to deal with the safe assumption that I'll be fine if these are spider eggs that are very shiny.
This cannot be the shaft they threw the goats into. It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
It's very... Oh, now we're starting to get a bit... Behold. I'm sure someone can actually read that, but they just can't. But this is... Looks like there's... a lot going on here. Hopefully the game's going to get a lot weirder, because I would enjoy that so much. It would probably make me climax / orgasm, and then away from... I don't know what that last word is, so I'm not going to make an assumption. So this guy definitely... It's like Amnesia in its own sense, it seems. I've never personally played Amnesia, but I've seen a full playthrough of it, and I've seen my friends play it, and it looks pretty similar to this, except there's nothing trying to kill me right now, which is a good thing. I don't like dying. I really don't. Because death is a concept I can't even grasp because I've never personally experienced it. For your information, I've never experienced death. I don't know if you have. If you came back from the dead, that'd be interesting. You should write a novel, really market that and sell that, because you would be a rich person who also died. Which is comical in its own sense. So we're going to go through this one. It's probably a loading point. How much do you want to bet that that is a loading point? I might divide this up by the loading points, if this is a loading point. That'd be interesting. Like every loading point